Well, good evening, everyone. There we go. Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Robin Nashak, and this is our spin into stillness. I missed you last week, obviously, a little out of practice of the staging of our meditation, but here I am, and here you are, and thank you so much for being here. This is that time in the week, it's midweek, where we create a space for our stillness time, our time to be reflective, to think about parts of our life that we would like to evolve or change, and to just be as a community together as we seek that stillness together. Now, we have a couple of steps before we get started actually meditating. And the first thing we do is we set an intention. And this is just a matter of uh, giving voice to something that we are hoping to accomplish or hope to see as a result, or hope to experience during our meditation, either during the meditation or throughout the week as we see how what we have intended for the meditation, how that unfolds. So it's just a few words. Maybe it's a question you would like to have answered. Maybe it's a statement about something you would like guidance on. Maybe it's just an affirmation of something that you would like to, or that you are seeing in your life that you love. Um, Maybe you just want to be able to be relaxed. Maybe you want to tap into a deeper sense of spirituality with your meditation. You get the idea. So again, it doesn't have to be complicated, but I really do encourage you to think about it and then write it down. I keep little slips of paper here to write my intentions down, because if we were in person, I would invite you to share your intention with me. It'd be private, of course, but I would collect them, fold it, and then we would throw them into the flames. So we've intended something and given voice to something, and given the energies out there, the universe, something to work with as far as specifics of what we are seeking or desiring. But then by throwing it into the flames, we let it go. So we release our attachment to this idea. We can create and imagine something that we would like to see for ourselves. And then by articulating it, we give it voice, and then we throw it into the flames, because we don't want to get strapped too tightly to how that outcome happens. Like, the watch pot never boils. So we don't need to check in with this intention every 2 seconds. We need to kind of let go of our attachment and let it do what it's going to do. So without further ado, let us set that intention. And again, it could be a sentence, it could be a word, it could be a question, it can be a whatever you would like it to be. All right, so I've written mine. This is my intention. And again, if we were in person, I would take this intention as well as all of yours. We would toss them into the burning bowl of flames. We're not in person, but we can do this by proxy. So I'm going to fill out a second little slip of paper or ticket, or however you want to call it. And this one is the proxy. So I am putting everyone's intentions on this ticket, because this can be the proxy for everybody that is meditating with us, whether you are on the recorded version or whether you are on the live stream. This is the collection of everyone's intentions by proxy to send up to the universe. And it, again, serves as the proxy as if we had all tossed our own individual intentions into that bowl. But through the miracle of modern technology, we can still connect even though we're not in person. And then we can do something like this proxy idea of gathering energies to send it out into the world. So that is step one. I hope you've done it. And again, if you didn't write it down, you can write it down in your hand, but something that allows you to kind of collect energy for that meditation with that intention. You can just put it in your palms or close them together. Just imagine that being energized by the meditation of the community, if that makes sense. All right, so parts one done. Part two is let's draw an oracle card. This is a deck called the Star Codes Astro deck. I love this deck of oracle cards. I think it provides wonderful insight based on, of course, astrology. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to be drawing your sign, whether you're a sun sign or your rising moon or any of your chart. But drawing the card just means that whatever card we draw, if it's from one of the 12 zodiac signs, that zodiac has a message for us. So I'm Leo, if you don't know. And if we would draw Leo, that would not mean that it's only for Leos that are participating. It means that Leo has a unique message for everyone. And that holds true for all of the other cards as well. So you may not believe in oracle cards. That is just fine. This can be a secular meditation for you, but think of the card then as a creative prompt or a flashcard. It helps you to think of something in a new way. So you've just set your intention, and then we draw the card, and that is additional information. Those are additional ideas in the card, in the artwork of the card, in the write-up about the card that can help serve that intention, maybe give you some insight about how you can either reach that intention more quickly or more thoroughly or efficiently. So we take those two things that we do in prep, the intention and the card that we draw, and then with both of those pieces of information, we go into meditation. So I'm shuffling along, and we're going to draw the top card. Or I'm going to draw the top card on behalf of all of us. If we were having an individual reading with you, I would allow you to pick out the card or cards, depending on how long the reading is, that you wanted to pick. And that would be your intuitive pick of what cards they were. This way, you're not relying on my intuition to pick the card. We're going to draw the top card. Since you can see me draw it, you can see that I'm going to draw the top card. And we know that that's the one that serves all of us. It answers all of our individual questions or gives us insight that is respective to our individual intentions. But it's a community card, which I just love. So I think we're ready to draw. Now, if you've joined us before, you know I often draw a card that we have had, recently or have had before. And look, that just happens. I shuffle these cards almost every day because I draw a card almost every day, which means they get shuffled, even though it might seem weird that they've been shuffled when we draw the same card 2 weeks in a row, which we've done. But I assure you, I shuffle them. It is literally the cards are revealing themselves the way they want to reveal themselves, which is why we still have this deck, because we haven't been through all of them yet, and we've got quite a ways to go. So our top card for tonight is, you see me draw it. Oh, okay. I do believe we've had this one before. I think it's been a while. The card is Third House, Communication. That's really the key to everything, isn't it? So when to put the card down, I'm going to give you the opportunity to look at the card yourself as I read about. And you can continue to process that information as necessary. There's the card, the third house. Look at it closely, see how the artwork resonates with you, see how the message of communication resonates with you, and specifically how it resonates with the intention that you have set, because this might be a key concept to achieving that intention or to having that, reaching that intention, having it come to fruition. So let's read more about the card. Third house, communication. It's card 40. Here we go. If your chart were a village map, the third house would represent your local neighborhood, primary school, and corner pub. It symbolizes how you learn, communicate, and move around your familiar world based on your sibling like relationships and the people in your local environment. The action of this card: check the lines of communication and your thinking process. First, repair any actual technical glitches, loose wires, computer, or phone problems. Then take this metaphor a step further and look at how your messages are sent and received. Make sure you understand what was intended in a letter or an email you received. Ask other people what they heard you say in an exchange. When in doubt, ask for more information and repair any miscommunication. Lessons to live by. Then take this metaphor in-house and look within. Notice the quality of your thinking. Repair the glitches. Stretch your mental muscles and improve the quality of your communications. You may need to learn new ways to express yourself so others hear your true intentions. Think about how you learned to communicate growing up through your relationships with siblings or sibling-like friends, your early school experiences. Investigate how those early relationships formed mental habits that affect the present moment. You may need to get out of your head and get a fresh perspective. Well, that's what we're doing here, right? Observe and test your assumptions. Check for confirmation bias, the tendency to believe anything that supports your opinions and reject new information that challenges your worldview. Read a spiritual text or ponder a metaphysical concept. Let it stretch your mind. Check in with siblings and sibling-like friends. Look for any shadow of rivalry and see if you can switch it to a mutual encouragement where all win. It's up to you to reframe this dynamic. The challenge of this card: chatter is not the same as communication. Sibling or sibling-like rivalry can challenge you to grow in small doses. Don't let it distract you from your self-direction. Stay on target. The gift of this card: we are all siblings in the eye of spirit. Let that sink in, the book says. So I think this is an important card. Communication is the key to success in anything that we are embarking on. And relationships are how we move through our life to bring those intentions to fruition. So I love the idea of checking in with yourself to see whether you have a history of communicating in a certain way that may or may not be effective. So checking out what's effective and what is not, and just really giving yourself the opportunity, like tonight in this meditation, to open yourself up to evolution, to shifting what may not be working, and leveraging and feeding and nourishing what is working, if that makes sense. So, with all of that in mind, let us prepare to meditate. Now, you're going to want to be comfortable. And I always say be comfortable, but also uh, if you can find a way that you will not doze off, that's even better. So maybe you might want to totally lie back. You might want to, prop yourself up in some way so that you are keeping, kind of the blood flowing and are remaining alert enough so that you can continue this dialogue consciously as you go into meditation. Now, quite often, we slip into another state of consciousness when we're meditating. I totally understand. I often do it when we are in the zone here, when I'm actually playing my steel drum and being in a meditative state. I get lost in it, and it's like a sliver away of a consciousness. And I usually don't go back and listen to those because I wonder how I sound. But it is possible for you to, of course, feel like you're dozing, but not actually be dozing. Okay, enough talk. I can never get to enough talk. So let's get comfortable. Let's begin to breathe deeply. This is how we kind of tether ourselves to our bodies, to our real world, by just really paying attention to that breath as it enters our body. So let's inhale and let's hold. And let's exhale slowly. Let's inhale again. And hold. And exhale slowly. And one more deep breath together. Inhale. And exhale slowly. And you can allow your eyes to kind of flutter closed. The card will stay up on the screen for your reminding if you choose to open your eyes, and just remember what the card looks like. And so allow your breath to return to a natural breathing cadence, keeping it deliberate, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling with every breath. Becoming more relaxed. More and more relaxed. Going deeper and deeper. More and more relaxed. And so you want to scan your body from your toes all the way up through your legs and torso and shoulders and head. You want to release all of your tension, all of the discomfort, anything that feels tight and resistant. And once you do your body, scan of your mental state and your emotional state. And as you do, just like with your body, release your tension, maybe your emotional tension. Release that emotional stress. Just allow it to drift away. Drift away, dissolve away. Don't be afraid to let it go. It will be available for you to pick up if you would choose to after you're done. But of course, you don't have to. You can let it go. You can consider this meditation wiping the slate clean of tension and stress, beginning anew when you're done with relaxation, with clarity, with enthusiasm. And now, as you are completely relaxed, I want us to begin a little assessment that we had in the book this evening about the card. Thinking of how we've communicated from our childhood and how that evolved into our adolescence. Did we keep those same communications tools and tactics? And into our adulthood, all of the stages of the young adulthood, you get the idea. Just think about you through the years. How have you communicated with those you love? Maybe those that you have challenges with. We've all taken tests about our communication styles, but instead of thinking about the test and its results or those personality assessments, let's think about how we would assess our own communication. What's worked for us? How have we been able to reach people most effectively? How have we been able to express ourselves most clearly to our world around us? Maybe it wasn't words, maybe it was through our musicianship, through our cooking talents, maybe it was through our leadership abilities. What has worked? And what can we honestly assess doesn't really work for ourselves all that well? Just be very gentle with yourself. This is not an assessment of a critique. This is not a critique. This is just simply a spending time with our deep self, our eternal me, and figuring out who we are in our communication. And be aware that as we have this reflection, The part of us feeding the guidance, the answers, is not an outside source. It is our own voice, reminding us of who we are, how we communicate, and how we might want to think of evolving ourselves. This is the voice of the divine me, the deep me, the eternal me. We all have the eternal me at our core. And each meditation we do every week is designed to become more aware of that eternal me, that deep me within. This is where our inspiration comes from, our guidance. It is the voice that is the voice of truth with a capital T. Right now it is with us so closely we can feel the presence of this eternal me that is both of me and with me. This voice, this deep me, is always sharing if we are choosing to listen to it. And right now, the presence of this eternal me has made itself known to you and me and everyone that is participating for a very specific message related to our intention and our communication skills, tactics, talents, and blind spots. And so just for the next few moments, allow that voice of the divine eternal me to speak with you in however way you can understand it and communicate with it. And our divine me is encouraging us to just open our hearts and minds to whomever else might be joining us in this self-exploration, in this meditation, on this evening at this time. don't have to know who they are. You don't have to know their names or their identities, but just know that there are others present with us, seeking answers and guidance and support, and are doing it through this community. So let's just give them a silent acknowledgement and blessing. Just become aware that as a community we are strong. We are powerful when we are connected with that divine me and eternal me. And now let us just bid a very gentle knowing so long to this presence, because we know this presence never ever leaves us. It is always there. It is the animator of our bodies and our lives. Let us acknowledge that we trust this essence of us, this presence. We love this presence, and this presence loves us. We are this presence. Let us now hear the call of our material world, challenging us to return and remain conscious of how we are reaching our world with the message that we want to reach it with. Let's return with an excitement to evolve organically, to hear ourselves as others hear us, to be open to suggestions, to new ideas, and most importantly, to new ways of sharing who we are. And so let us return to that body by being conscious of our breath. There it is. We are inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And let's just take 3 quick breaths. On the third breath, we can open our eyes. Let's inhale. Exhale quickly. Inhale again. And exhale quickly. And one more deep breath. Inhale and exhale quickly. And we are returning. There we are. Hello. So I hope you had a good dialogue and conversation with you, with your deep self, about how you might improve those communications that you have with friends, families, loved ones, everyone, with everyone, whether we are in regular contact or not. We have to communicate with strangers every day. So hopefully you can remind yourself, return to this spot, and just become aware of how you are being or how your message is being heard, or if your message is being heard the way that you are desiring it to be heard. That makes sense. Let's send this stuff out into the flames, shall we? I'm going to light one, and then I'm going to toss everyone in. I'm going to light mine first, and then I'm going to toss everyone else's in so that it is burning from that same flame. Right there. You can see them together. They come together. That's all of our intentions right there, burning away. those intentions are now ideas floating on the wind and the breeze. There's a little bit of burning left. But thank you for joining us on this almost summer eve. It is Pride Month, and the Washington, D.C. celebrated Pride this past weekend, along with the world, because we hosted World Pride. It was an amazing experience. 2 days of, well, actually a month long of festivities, but 2 days of intense festivities around town. And now Pride is going to be taking places at other cities around the country, taking place at other cities around the country. So just know that when we talk about Pride, we're talking about pride in who each of us is, no matter what community you belong to. I think that the LGBTQ community is there to remind everyone that whoever they are, that is most important that we learn to live as as our most authentic way of living, as the self that feels most integrated with our world. So be proud of who you are. Be proud that you meditate. Be proud that you are doing the job that you do. Be proud that you left the job that you left. Whatever. Find a way to recognize yourself and be proud of who you are, because that is a divine me. So I know Sue is on the Zoom. My friend Sue. Hello, Sue. Good to see you. Let's check to see if anybody's on the others, on the Facebooks or otherwise. I just don't know. But I hope that you have all enjoyed this time together, this time to connect, and this time to just share a deeper love. And I'm having trouble getting to these other places. So, since I can't see you, I will apologize for not seeing you if you're on Facebook. This is usually where I see the most of you, but it is not clicking through to the event. So hopefully you got there. At any rate, I wish you all a beautiful evening. I hope that you enjoyed this little trip to you and can return for more of them. Have a beautiful evening. I love you. Good night.